morning to everyone. We'd like to welcome beautiful Dr. Shima and the other cast members, the beautiful actress and the beautiful actors, handsome actors. Okay, so today we are all here to all watch a play. What is the title again, Adorable? The Importance of Being Me. Is it the importance of being you? Yes. The importance of being you. And let's just read together. Yeah. The importance of being earnest. Okay, but first, okay, everyone, please make sure that your phone is on silent mode. Can you please check your phone now? Make sure it's on silent mode. Okay. And then to ensure that you will not disturb our talented actor and actresses, please make sure that you minimize your movement. Is that okay? Okay, before we waste any more time, let's begin the play. Music.
Click, click, click.
Well, I'm sorry for your sake. I don't play accurately. Anyone can play accurately, but I play with wonderful expression. As far as the piano is concerned, I play with sentiment. I keep the science for life. Yes, sir. Oh, and speaking about science of life, have you prepared the cucumber sandwiches for Lady Brightner? Yes, sir. So, by the way, Lane, I saw from your books that on last Thursday, when Lord Shorman and Mr. Worthing were dining with me, 8 bottles of champagne are entered as having been consumed. Yes, sir. 8 bottles at a time. Why is it at a bachelor's establishment, the servants invariably drink the champagne? I asked merely for information.
I attribute it to the superior quality of wine, sir.
Good heaven. Is marriage so demoralizing as that?
I believe it is a very pleasant place, sir. I have had very good experience of it myself up to the present. I've only been there once, and that was in consequence of a misunderstanding between myself and a young person.
I don't know that I'm much interested in your family life, Lane.
No, sir, it is not a very interesting subject. I never think of it myself.
Yes, that will do, Lane. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Really? Renee's view about marriage seems somewhat lax. If the lower orders do not set us a good example, what is the use of them? They seem, as a class, to have absolutely no sense of moral responsibility.
Mr. Earnest Wooding.
My dear Earnest, what brings you up to town?
Oh, pleasure, pleasure. What brings one anywhere? Eating as usual, Angie.
I believe it is customary in good society to take some light refreshment at 5 o'clock. Where have you been since Thursday?
In the country.
What on earth do you do there?
Well, amusing other people. It's very boring.
What nice neighbors in your part of Shropshire?
Perfectly horrid. Never speak to one of them.
How immensely you must amuse them. By the way, isn't Shropshire your part of the county?
Shropshire? Oh, yes, of course. It's a part of my country. Hello. Why all these cups? Cucumber sandwiches? Who's coming to tea?
Oh, merely Aunt Augusta and Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn? That's perfect.
Yes, but I do not think Aunt Augusta would quite approve of you being here.
May I ask you why?
Well, my dear fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolyn is perfectly disgraceful. It's almost as bad as the way she flirts with you.
But I'm in love with Gwendolyn, and I'm here to propose her.
Propose? I thought you had come up for pleasure. I call that business.
How unromantic you are, LG.
There is nothing romantic about a proposal. It is very romantic to be in love, not a proposal. Why, one may be accepted. Then all the excitement is gone. The very
Yeah.
essence of romance is the uncertainty. Certainly, if I ever get married, I'll try to forget the fact.
Dear LG, the divorce court was meant for people who have constituted memories.
Well, there's no use speculating about this subject. Divorces are made in heaven. Please, do not touch the cucumber sandwiches. They are made specially for Aunt Augusta.
But you have been eating them all the time.
Well, yes, that's a different matter. She is my aunt. Here, have some bread and butter. Gwendolyn is devoted to bread and butter.
A very good bread and butter it is too. You should take some.
My dear fellow, you need not eat as if you're going to eat it all. You act as if you're married to her already. Well, you're not. And I don't think you ever will be.
My on earth do you say that, LG? Oh my gosh.
Well, in the first place, women never marry the man they flirt with. They don't think it right.
Nonsense.
It isn't. It is the perfect explanation for the number of bachelors one sees all over the place. And in the second place, I don't give my consent.
Your consent, I don't care.
Well, my dear fellow, she is my first cousin. And before you marry her, before I allow you to marry her, you have to explain the question of Sicily.
Sicily? I don't know any name of Sicily. Who's Sicily?
Bring me that cigarette case that Mr. Worthing left here on Thursday.
You had my secret case all this time? I was nearly writing friendly letters calling you out about it.
Well,
I was nearly offering a large reward.
I wish that you would offer one. I have been more than usually hard up.
Well, there's no use. The thing is found already.
Well, yes. But now that I look at the inscription inside, it isn't yours after all.
Of course it's mine. You have seen me hundreds of times.
Yes, but it isn't yours. Because this is a present from Sicily, and you just said you do not know anyone of the name Sicily.
Well, if you want to know, Sicily is my aunt.
Your aunt.
Yes, she lives at Tunbridge Well.
Your aunt. Yes, but why does your aunt, who lives at Tunbridge Wells, call herself Little Sicily? From Little Sicily with her fondest love.
My dear fellow, some aunts are tall and some aunts are not. You cannot expect every aunt should be exactly like your aunt.
Yes, but you see, but why does your aunt call you her uncle? From Little Sicily with her fondest love to her dear Uncle Jack. I admit there is no objection in an aunt being a small aunt, but why would an aunt, no matter her size, call her own nephew uncle? Besides, your name isn't Jack, it's Ernest.
It isn't Ernest, it's Jack.
You have always told me Ernest. I have introduced you to everyone as Ernest. You answer to the name Ernest. You look as if your name is Ernest. You're the most earnest looking man I know. It is perfectly absurd to say that your name isn't Ernest. In fact, it's on your cards. Here's one of them. Now, Mr. Ernest Worthing, before the Albini. I'll keep this as proof if you ever deny it to me, Gwendolyn, or anyone else.
Well, explanation is easy. Actually, the old Mrs. Stormer Gaddy has pitied me. as a guardian for his granddaughter, Mrs. Cicely. And Cicely happened to respect me as her uncle. That's why she's calling me Uncle Jack. It's simple as that, LG.
And where is that place in the country?
The place, you are not going to be invited, LG. But I can candidly tell you that the place is not in Shropshire.
I suspected as much. I have gone buried all over Shropshire on 2 separate occasions. Well, go on. Explain to me why you are Jack in the country and Earnest in the town.
It's simple. When one is picked as a guardian, one is bounded by hard monotone on all subjects. And sometimes it will affect someone's happiness. And in order to get to town, I pretended to have a younger brother named Earnest who get into the most dangerous trip. The truth is simple as that, LG.
The truth is rarely simple, and the truth is rarely pure and never simple. Modern society would be very tedious if it were either, and modern literature a complete impossibility.
Well, LG, that wouldn't be at all a bad thing.
My dear fellow, literary criticism is not your forte. Don't try it. Leave that to the people who haven't been to university. They do it so well in the daily papers. What you really are is a bunburyist. I've always suspected you of a bunburyist, and now I have confirmed it that you are a bunburyist.
What is a boundary?
My dear fellow, I'll explain it to you as some. Bunbury is a term I have invented for my friend for this situation. You have invented a very useful younger brother called Earnest, so that you may be able to come up to town whenever you wish. I have invented a perfectly permanent invalid called Bunbury, so that I may be able to go down to the country whenever I choose. For instance, if it wasn't for Bunbury's extraordinarily bad health, I won't be able to dine with you tonight at Willis, for I would have been really engaged to Aunt Augusta for more than a week.
I did not ask to dine with you.
Yes, I know, you're perfectly horrid at sending out invitations. Nothing annoys someone so much as not receiving an invitation.
You should have dined with your Aunt Augusta.
I haven't the smallest intention of dining with Aunt Augusta. In the first place, I dine with her on Monday, and once a week is quite enough to dine with one's own relations. In the second place, whenever I do dine there, I'm always treated as a member of the family, sent down with either no woman or two. In the second place, I know very well who she will place me next to. She'll place me next to Mary Farquhar, who always flirts with her husband across the dinner table. That is not pleasant. Indeed, the number of women who flirt with their own husband in London is perfectly scandalous. It is simply washing one's own clean linen in public. Besides, now that I know you to be a Bunburyist, I will naturally want to talk about Bunbury. I will want to tell you about the rules.
I'm not a Bunburyist at all. If Gwen will accept me, then I'll get rid of Earnest. And I advise you to do the same with Mr. your invalid friend who have the surname.
Nothing will induce me to part with Bunbury. And if you ever get married, it seems to me a horrible mistake. You'll be very glad to know Bunbury. A married man who doesn't know Bunbury has a very tedious time of it.
Nonsense. I don't need to know boundaries at all. If I marry a girl like Gwendolyn.
Then she will. You don't seem to realize that in married life, 3 is a company and 2 is none.
That, my friend, is the theory of a corrupt French drama.
Yes, and the happy English has proven in half the time.
You shouldn't be cynical, because it's easy to be cynical.
There's nothing, it's not easy to be anything nowadays. There's such a beastly competition about it. Ah, that must be Aunt Augusta. Only relatives or creditors ever ring in that Wagnerian manner. Now, if I get Aunt Augusta away for 10 minutes so that you may propose to Gwendolyn, may I dine with you tonight at Willis?
Well, I suppose so if you want to.
Yes. I do want to, but you must be serious about it. I don't like people who aren't serious about meals. It is so shallow of them.
Lady Bracknell and Miss Fairfax.
Aunt Augusta!
Good afternoon, Alden. I hope you're behaving very well.
I am feeling quite well, Aunt Augusta.
Just not quite the same thing. In fact, the two things rarely go together.
Isn't Augusta? My, you look smart today.
I'm always smart, and I'm not.
Yeah, quite perfect, Miss Fairfax.
Oh, I hope I am not that. If it no room for you, and I intend to do it in May. I'm sorry if you are a little late, Alden, but I was obliged to follow dear Lady Carberry. I hadn't been there since her poor husband's death. And my, I've never seen a woman so altered. She looks quite 20 years younger. And now I have a cup of tea, one of those nice good conversations you promised me.
Isn't it Aunt Augusta?
Won't you come and sit here, Gwendolyn?
Thanks, Mama. I'm quite comfortable there.
Good heavens! Lane? Where are the cucumber sandwiches? I ordered them specially for Aunt Augusta.
There were no cucumbers in the market this morning, and I went down.
No cucumbers?
Oh, sir, not even for any money.
I see. That would be me. I am perfectly sorry, Aunt Augusta. There is no cucumbers at market today, not even for ready money.
It hardly makes a matter, Alden. I had some comfort with Lady Carberry. She seems to me to be living completely for pleasure now.
I hear this. Yes, I hear her hair has turned quite gold from me.
It certainly has changed its color from what course I, of course, cannot say. I have quite a treat for you tonight, Alden. I'm going to send you down with Mary Parker. She's such a nice woman and so thankful to her husband. It's delightful to watch them.
Yes, but I have to say it is a terrible disappointment. I won't be able to join with you tonight after all.
I hope not, Alden. It will put the table completely out. Your uncle will have to dine upstairs. Fortunately, he's accustomed to that.
Yes, it is quite a bore, and I need not say a terrible disappointment. But the fact is, I have received a telegram from my friend Bunbury. He is terribly ill. I think I should be with him.
It is very strange. This Mr. Bunbury of yours seems to suffer from curiously bad health.
Well, he is a perfectly dreadful invalid.
Well, Alden, I think it is high time that this Mr. Bunbury made up his mind whether he was going to live or to die. His shilly-shelly with the question is absurd. Now, I will be much obliged if you could kindly ask him from me to be kind enough not to have a relapse on Saturday, for I rely on you to arrange my music for me. It is my last reception and want something. encourage conversation, particularly at the end of the season, where everyone practically has said everything they want to say, which in most cases was probably not much.
Well, I can try to talk to Bunbury if he is still conscious, and I can almost promise you that he'll be well by Saturday. Of course, the music is a terrible difficulty. You see, if one plays good music, people don't listen. If one plays bad music, people don't talk. But if you'll follow me to the next room, I will run over the program with you.
That is very thoughtful of you, Arjun. Thank you. I'm sure the program will be delightful after a few expurgations, of course. Gwendolyn, you will accompany me.
Certainly, Mama.
Charming day it has been, Mr. X.
We were talking about parents already. So now we're talking about parents.
Well,
And
I mean something else.
I thought so. I am never wrong.
Mr. X, I admire you since the very first time we met.
I don't bear up the fact. I wish we had been the models ready. To me, you have always an irresistible fascination. My idol is not someone of the Ernest. There is something about the name that inspires absolute confidence. And when Archie first mentioned me that I had a friend, Ernest, I knew I was listening.
But supposing my name wasn't Earnest, would you still agree?
Which makes Ernest?
Yes, it is, but I don't think that the name Earnest does suit you.
Oh, that is clearly a metaphysical speculation that has very little reference at all to the actual facts of my life. Excuse me.
Well, I have themed about other names. For example, Jack.
Jack? No. There is a very little music in the name Jack. It doesn't throw. No aberrations at all. I know more than several Jacks. There are more than literally named. Besides, Jack is a notorious domesticity for the name John. And I pity any woman who married to a man called John. She probably never know the entrancing pleasure of single momentum. The only safe name and
Oh, my own darling. You must get married at once.
Married?
There's no time to be lost.
married Mr. Murphy.
Yes, I really want to be the same with you.
I adore you, but you haven't proposed to me yet. Nothing has been said at all about marriage. The subject has not been touched on.
Well, may I propose to you now?
I will certainly advise you to do so. And tell you that I'm going to make my accept so that
Gwendolyn, you know what I've got to say to you?
no.
Will you marry me, Gwendolyn?
Of course, I'm darling. How will have been about it? I'm afraid that they have not practiced for proposals.
Oh, goodness, my dear love.
Yes, but of men proposal practice, I know my brother John House. But one difference is I will have. I will hope that you always look at me just like that.
Mr. Word, rise, sir, from this semi-incumbent position. It's most indecorous.
Mama, I must beg you to retire. This is no place for you. Besides, Mr. Murphy has not had permission yet.
Finish what, may I ask?
I'm sorry.
Then, I am engaged to Mr. Murphy, Mama.
Engaged? Pardon me, you are not engaged to anyone. Should you be
you become engaged to someone, I or your father should will inform you of that fact. An engagement will come to a young girl as a surprise. Pleasant or unpleasant as the case may be, it is hardly a matter that you could arrange for herself. Now, I will have a few questions to put to you, Mr. Webb. While I'm making these inquiries, you, Gwendolyn, will wait for me in the carriage below.
Mama,
In the carriage, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, in the carriage. Please take a seat, Mr. Webb.
It's okay, Lady Gaga. I'll be standing.